Thank you for the opportunity to share the story of my successes, failures, and lessons learned in the film industry.
An industry friend once told me that it is extremely difficult to become a great filmmaker, but it's even more difficult to become a great man. This is a story about how my mission to become one has led to my desire to become the other. While I will forever be a work in progress in both areas, over the last few years, my talented friends and I have managed to make 6 feature-length films right here in New York. And we work with companies like Lionsgate, Grindstone, and Viacom to bring them to the world. It's an exciting time for us with lots of emerging opportunities, but for me, it's been a long road to get here. Before I began my film industry journey, I was totally lost. I had dipped my toe in the music industry and already had 2 failed startups under my belt. I truly had no idea what was next for me, but I was unwilling to settle for an easy path. I wanted to become more than I was, and I needed an audacious goal that was worthy of putting my all into. Inspiration struck when I watched, of all things, a behind-the-scenes featurette for the movie Accepted. No, not Shawshank Redemption or Star Wars or Fight Club. Accepted. For some reason, when I watched it, I realized for the first time that actual human beings, who at first knew nothing about making movies, make all the movies that we watch and enjoy. I knew I had a long road ahead of me. I was still living at home. I had no training, no experience, no money, no equipment, and no industry connections. I was truly starting from the absolute bottom. There were a million reasons not to try, and no shortage of people who were reminding me of all of them. But I believe that when you feel called to something, it's a mandate from the universe and you must move forward. Before I began, I made a few rules for myself. I had to learn something new every day. I had to challenge myself and my ideas at every opportunity. I had to give myself permission to take imperfect action. I had to remember to always have fun, and no matter how hard it got and how many people told me no, I could never quit. I began by volunteering as a terrible actor on student short films. Sleeping in my car became commonplace as I eventually acted in over 60 projects up and down the East Coast. After my job as an actor was finished, I'd often stay on as a production assistant or just linger around the set, bothering cast and crew members with my many, probably very annoying questions. As I did so, my acting abilities became less and less terrible, and eventually I was cast in a supporting role in the feature film Haze. The film took all summer to shoot, and there was still no pay, but I was finally a part of making a real movie. Against all odds, the film did well, and eventually found its way onto Netflix in 2016. Making Haze was a transformative experience that inspired me to get behind the camera and start testing out all that I had been learning. I penned a screenplay for a short film inspired by an entry in the book Weird Pennsylvania, and I sent it to a few of my friends. To my surprise, everyone truly loved it, but they did have a few concerns. "This is too ambitious," they said, "and far too expensive. How are you actually going to shoot this post-apocalyptic thriller? I mean, the opening scene, your protagonist sets a car on fire. You don't have any money. How on earth are you going to pull that off?" I didn't know how we would pull it off, but I wasn't going to let a thing like that stop me. As it turns out, sometimes people have cars that they don't want or need, and they can donate them to help firefighters hone their skills. So I found a generous friend with a junker, and we worked with a firefighter training facility to safely get our shots. And when we were finished, first responders in our community got better at saving lives. That's what I call a win-win. From that moment on, I knew that I would never listen to anyone who said that we couldn't do something. I knew that if people weren't saying that something was impossible, then we weren't trying hard enough. And when it came time to name our production company, we named it Everything's Fire, as a constant reminder that we do impossible things. Skipping over many mistakes, failures, and lessons, this mindset would lead us to produce several award-winning short films. Those imperfect projects opened doors and led us to making several award-winning feature films. And those imperfect projects have opened more doors and led us to a tipping point where a thriving film industry in New York doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. Along the way, I have faced many personal challenges. I've been homeless on multiple occasions. I've relied on food banks. I've gone months with no electricity. But when I look back on this journey, I don't think about the sacrifices I've made or the emotional and financial struggles or all the people that told me no. I'm just grateful for the opportunities I've had to grow to understand myself and others better. I think about the people I've made these movies with. My friends inspire me and teach me what they know and push me to get better, support me through the painful days, and refuse to tell me what I want to hear. Providing honest criticism is not fun for anyone, but I don't know how I would have ever gotten any better without my friends doing just that. You see, there's this idea in the film world that some people are just born with talent. You either have it or you don't, and if you do, that it will be evident for everyone right away. This mindset deters great people from putting in the work to follow their dreams and become great filmmakers, and it breeds delusional artists who never improve because doing so would involve admitting that they aren't already perfect. For me, there's no greater thrill than learning something new and gaining a better understanding of my craft. When I first started out, just like every other filmmaker, I didn't know anything. And when future Doug looks back on this presentation, I surely will cringe at how little I knew when I gave it. This journey I'm on isn't about what I have been or what I am today. It's about what I am becoming. I realized early on that an essential aspect of becoming a great filmmaker is personal development. Great movies connect with audiences on an emotional level, and to accomplish that, I need to understand my voice and have empathy and respect for other perspectives. What started out as a professional ambition has led to my desire to become the best man that I can be. I still have a long road ahead of me, and there are plenty of obstacles on the path, but I've always known that while it's difficult to become a great filmmaker, it's even more difficult to become a great man. The key word there is become, because both are lifelong processes, and no matter how great I become, there's always room to get better. You might think that a film industry in York is impossible, but we've done an awful lot of impossible things over the years, and I promise you this, I'm going to learn something new every day. I'm going to challenge myself at every opportunity. I'm going to take imperfect actions towards that goal and have fun doing it. And no matter how hard it gets, I'm never going to quit.